Okay, I think we're live. I'm probably going to say that every single time at the start until the end of time. But I believe we're good. Welcome, everyone, to part 8, the 8th stream, whatever you want to call it. The 8th iteration of working on the entirety of the Kanto decks, recreating the Pokemon Yellow sprites in Minecraft. This time, we are going to be, at the very least, working on the Spearow and Fearow line. And if things go well, and things don't go like last time, like with Eradicate, maybe we'll even do the Ekans evolution line. I don't think there's much more preliminary to get through. I think, I don't remember if this happened last time. I'm pretty sure it didn't, but Pikmin 2 just recently surpassed 600 views, so thank you all so much for that. I'm honestly blown away by the support on that video. So it's super motivating to continue working on not only the streams, but the videos as well. So yeah, with that said, I got some Heart Gold and Soul Silver music playing in the background because I've had Gen 2 on the brain lately. And let's go ahead and get started with Spearow. Actually, I do have to pull it up for myself just because I was setting up the starting points for the other ones. But the Spearow line I actually didn't have to set up this time because I set it up last time, because I sort of kind of planned on doing it last time and then I didn't because, yeah, Eradicate kind of broke me. But, well, not, I mean, if you want for yourself, you could see how that went. It was something. Realistically, in the grand scheme of things, not much really happened. But also, I apologize. I'm going to turn this music down just a little bit. I adjusted it beforehand and thought it was good, but I guess it was kind of a more quiet song. There we go. Okay, that's definitely better. It's a little too loud for my liking. But yeah, you could watch it for yourself if you want. It's not a big deal though. It just, I misaligned Eradicate and it kind of really threw me for a loop because I thought I was gonna have to redo the entire thing, and that like about an hour of my work was essentially like for nothing. But that wasn't the case because I remembered that I could use the clone command. But at that point, the damage had kind of been done. I like how I'm talking about this as if it's some sort of traumatic event, but it's me misaligning a Minecraft build by one block. But either way, so I'm hoping to bring a new sort of energy, or whatever you want to call it, new sort of mood to working on the Spearow line. Which honestly, like, I can't say I have any strong opinions on. Like, I don't think I've ever used Spearow/Fearow in a playthrough before. And I guess like the most direct comparison is the Pidgey line, which I have used in at least 2 playthroughs. One of them being the playthrough I'm doing for my upcoming video on Pokemon Gold and Silver, which, while I'm not going to go too much into it, I actually just finished that playthrough. Like, I'm basically done. I may have to get footage every now and then, but the point I'm at, I have defeated Red. So, I'm very happy about that. Like I said, not going to go too much into it because that's for the video itself. But, I will say that I had a lot of fun. But I think that should sort of be the kind of baseline with making these videos, because, you know, I'm making the videos for a reason, so yeah. So right now we're kind of working on the lower body part. Which Spearow should realistically, like, it's definitely more of a lower commitment to work on because it's pretty small. But yeah, I never really wanted to try to use it in a playthrough. I've just always kind of like, I'm not a huge flying type guy at all. So it's like whenever I do have to use a flying type, which is a lot in the earlier games just because you kind of need a user of fly. Spearow / Fearow have never been my first choice. I think I've used most other birds besides them. What's going on here? There's brown here. Oh, also, I should have mentioned, I don't think I did, I'm using the same color scheme that I used for Pidgey on the Fearow line, which I just want to make sure really quick that I am actually using the same 2 colors. I'm pretty sure I am. This should be orange terracotta. Perfect. And this is brown concrete. And then obviously the black and white concrete are consistent across all of them. And will probably be used in every single one, if I had to guess. I don't see that ever changing. But actually finished like the legs and everything and the claws. So we're working our way up a bit here. And Spearow is like a little noisy in terms of like how often things switch, but that's not, it shouldn't be a huge deal. I think it's just because it has like the feathers and everything. But yeah. And I was looking at it, and I think I mentioned this last time. I don't remember. But I think the way I am going to go about it for the gold, or the, I'm just going to say the Gen 2 sprites, is that since gold and silver have different sprites for the most part, I'm probably going to do it on a per Pokemon basis. And probably just end up doing the one that I like more. Maybe if by that point I have like a decent enough like audience actually watching, maybe I can put them up to a vote. But we're a long ways off from that. Considering that this is Pokemon number I can't see my overlay. 21 out of 151. So yeah, we got a ways to go. Which, speaking of which, it is time to move this over so I can see it a bit better. I'm actually going to do the tail really quick, because there isn't much to it. And just fill that in. And there we go, the tail's done. Like, it's that easy. Oops, I meant to pause before I did that. And now I can work on the head. Okay, where am I at? I'm all the way down here, okay. I think that's like that? Yeah. Actually, wait, no. This is like this, and then it goes up one. There we go. There we go. And then this is like kind of starting on the head. And this goes straight up into the eye. Like that. And there's the pupil right there. And yeah, like this is like the entirety of the eye. I don't know. And then I want to go back over here for a moment. What am I looking at here? There's that. And then that actually is not too brown. That's brown and a black. Goes up diagonally like that. Got a 2x2. And yeah. Yeah, but never used a Fearow. I don't really care for its design that much. Like, I don't hate it. I'm not a bird guy or really a flying type guy in general. I have used Pidgeot. I have used Dodrio. Trying to think of what other Gen 1 flying types are. I don't consider it worth it to use Golbat because Crobat exists, so it's like if there's a game that just has Golbat, I'm not going to bother. What else is there? So I'm gonna scroll up a tiny bit here. There's Farfetch, that's not even worth it, and also I think in some games you can only get it via trade, but it's like, why would you want to? Am I missing any flying type? If I am, it's probably like paired with something. I mean, there's Charizard. Like, obviously I've used Charizard before. Yeah, okay. And then all of that is brown. Yeah. I may as well just fill it in. There's not a lot of filling in to be done on Spearow, so I may as well just do it. But yeah, there's probably other flying types I can't think of, but typically I will just have one. There's Gyarados, but it can't learn fly. Oh, Aerodactyl. I've used Aerodactyl a single time, which was for my playthrough of Red, when I did it for my video. It was the first time I ever used it, and it was fine. It would probably be a lot more impressive if I had access to Rock-type moves with it, but since it's Gen 1, I think it was just basically a Hyper Beam and probably Double-Edge spammer? Like, I don't... probably those two moves. I don't remember exactly, but that sounds about right. Is it just time? It's not quite time to fill in, but it's pretty close. Yeah, and then that kind of serves the block off for that. Like that, like that. I really confused myself there. Okay, now we just fill in. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. I really had to clear my throat, and I did not want to burden anyone with that sound. Yeah. There's a little white tuft on the chest, and then the rest of it is orange. I don't know why, but specifically the orange terracotta, like, I mean, it's probably just the terracotta in general, but like, normally, like, when you look at it, it doesn't have like it's such like a muted texture, I'm gonna call it. Like, it's very like one note, which is, you know, the point, because it's supposed to be used for like flatter stuff like this. But like comparing it to concrete, which I think has like the flattest texture, is just like, it looks a little jarring, because like it looks like, I don't want to say busy, but like so much busier in comparison. But that is not Spearow, because I forgot to do part of its leg. I don't know how I did that. But that's not a problem at all, because it's just a couple blocks. And we got white right there, and then... Okay. Now we're done. Just making sure. Yes. Okay, we're done. That is Spearow. Spearow is definitely one of those Pokemon where you could kind of tell that they centered it in the middle as opposed to centering it on the bottom, and that honestly bothers me quite a bit. But I make the sprites how they're supposed to be, and Spearow is just in the middle for some reason. While it may be the first small one, I'll say, because like they're, you know, like Butterfree is kind of centered in the middle, but that's not relevant because it's like, it's so big that it's like, it looks good, it's centered. Also, it's flying. But yeah, I guess Rattata kind of does it, but it's like closer to the bottom. Either way, I digress. It is time for me to switch us on over to Fearow, which is definitely a bit more involved, but I think we'll be fine nonetheless. I think it is overall less busy though. I say that, and we're gonna be starting with like one of the busiest parts of it, but what can you do? And how we doing here? Okay. Also, Spearow took like some of the smallest amount of time I've ever seen. I actually might have to check how far away this is, because this could be one of two starting points, and I think I know which one it is, but I want to make sure to avoid a crisis. Okay, if this is the 5th one up, which it is, okay, then I know exactly where we are. Cool. Like I said, did not want to take that chance. I think for a while now, every Pokemon we do, like every evolution line I should say, is going to have a consistent color pattern with the rest of like their family, I'll call it. And I think more often than not, it is going to be like that. I don't know why Butterfree was different, but it just is. No, that's not right. So yeah. I've heard though that Fearow is actually like, I mean, it's not amazing because it's a Gen 1 bird, but like, it's actually like pretty decent, and in some aspects it is better, or like, people do recommend it over Pidgeot, because I think it's like, specifically its attack is pretty solid, and I don't know about its speed, because I'm pretty sure Pidgeot's speed is like its best stat. It's like not crazy good or anything, but it's like pretty decent. But I don't think Fearow has it outmatched in that, but I think it still has like solid enough speed to where it's like quite comparable. But like, I guess like, I don't even know if I would choose Fearow over something like another not Gen 2, another like 2-stage bird evolution like Noctowl or Swellow. Like, if I thought of both of those, comparing them to Fearow, I think I would choose not Fearow in both of them. And I feel rude saying that, but I think it's just how I feel. I don't dislike Fearow in any way. It's just not my kind of Pokemon. Now that I think of it, when playing through Gen 2, I don't remember seeing like I don't want to say I didn't see any Fearow, but like, why do I feel like I didn't see any Fearow? There maybe was a Spearow somewhere, but what's going on here? Wait, okay, no, we're good. We're fine. I just got my colors mixed up for a second. There's white here, and then I think everything else is like pretty much good. We've reached the unknown part of the soundtrack. I think a couple weeks ago I had the Gen 2 soundtrack playing, and it was kind of creepy, honestly. But the Gen 4 version definitely sounds a lot, well, like capturing the same feel. Okay. I'm glad I caught what I just did. That's really funny. The fact that I just copied this exact shape up here because I thought that's where I was supposed to go for a second. Jeez, that was weird. I'm gonna be zooming out a bit here in a moment because I'm basically to the edge of my view. It's like that. That goes down there. And then something there. Something there. This goes out 4. And we got some white. Okay. And that goes over. Alright, let me change my view. I'm gonna do like the rest of the bottom part, so like the tail and everything, and then like we'll start working our way up from there. Getting off the topic of Pokemon for a minute and actually talking about the other game that's relevant to the stream, the game I'm playing, Minecraft. I want to talk about the happy gas and the changes they're doing with like leads and stuff. I haven't gotten a chance to try it, and I probably won't until the actual like real update comes out. But some pretty exciting changes, honestly, like being able to attach leads to entities like minecarts and boats and the happy gas itself, like that like is super cool, and I think it's going to lead to so many interesting things. I've already seen a video of someone making a merry-go-round with the happy gas and like I think like pigs with saddles, and I just think like that stuff is so cool. And it's just like the crazy kind of transport caravans that people are gonna make, like being able to transport your like if you want to move your base, I think is gonna be so much easier now, because you're just gonna be able to get like a caravan of like boats with chests, and you could put your animals in them too, and it also like it might make animal or like entities that are like otherwise like annoying to transport a lot easier. Like I think probably the best example I could think of is villagers, since you can place them in boats but you can't put leads on them. So now it's like you could put them in a boat and just send them into the sky with the happy gas. I think that's amazing. Yeah, no, I'm like, I don't know how much use I personally am gonna get out of it, but it just seems like such, like, I don't want to say like a no-brainer, because it's like, I don't want to imply that like, you know, they should have added it forever ago and like finally or whatever, but like, it's just like, now that they did it, it's like, wow. Like, I think people are really gonna be like, they're gonna look back on it and be like, wow, we didn't, like, what did we do before we had this feature? So that's what I'm trying to get at. Also just the happy gas in general, like they're like, obviously they're extremely cute. You can craft them, which is funny, and I don't know, like gas are just like overall like a cool mysterious mob in the game, so it's just nice that they're finally like expanding on that and making it seem like they're like originally from the overworld or something like that, and like you get to see them in their actual like environment and like them thriving. Like you get a better understanding of like maybe why they attack you in the nether. It's just it's so great overall, and I hope they do more stuff like that for Minecraft's unique mobs. Like it would, I don't know what they would do with the creeper, but they could do something cool with the creeper. They could do cool stuff with the Enderman. Yeah, I think there's a lot they could do. And that connects to there. I'm gonna say this, I've kind of gone on like autopilot in a way when it comes to building this, which I try not to because I want to pay attention as much as possible to make sure I don't mess up. But honestly, the autopilot has kind of like worked out so far. Because I was very much focused, more so focused on what I was talking about there than like what I was doing, which I think usually I do the opposite. But I think that's just something that I'm going to kind of learn to balance the more I do these streams. Where building and or talking is going to get more unconscious for me. So I will be able to do both of them in unison a lot. Like, they will be, I guess, much more in harmony with each other. Which this is like part of the wings, which I actually have to admit, this Fearow has a really cool, oops, don't know how I did that, a really cool feather design. From here, because I've pretty much done all that I could see, so we're gonna work our way up a bit now. Where is this I'm trying to figure out where I am. Okay, I'm right here. So this goes up one. And this is like another pattern on it. And 1, 2. Okay. I'm probably gonna switch back to like one of the, like, I skipped a little bit of detail, but I'll go back and do that. It's just to get kind of like markers or whatever for everything. And this is where stuff gets a little busy, because it's just like there's a lot of lining, I'll call it. 1, 2. Okay, yeah, that's 3, and then that goes up 2. Also, I want to point out that the the very infrequent lag spikes is me. I don't think that's a stream thing. I'm pretty sure that's a game thing. I don't know why it's doing that. But they're not happening frequently enough to where it's really affecting me, so I'm just going to leave it be for now. And that goes up like that. Okay, well, I say that and I start dropping frames. I should limit my frame rate or something, considering that I have like 1200 FPS, which I've never seen it go that high before, but whatever. I don't even have like that great of a PC, but at the end of the day, it's Minecraft, so if you know how to run it, you can get pretty high frame rates. And put that one to 3 so I don't get confused later. 3, and then 3. Perfect. Okay. And then from here, I can gauge where I am with these orange blocks. Like I said, it gets really busy here, and I think that's just why I keep talking about how excited I am to do the Gen 2 sprites. I'm so worried here. I have to scroll over in a second to see like if that's the wall, but I really hope it's actually. I'm gonna do it now. I'm just gonna rip the band-aid off. Please, please, please. Okay, okay. We're good. We're good. This is the wall. This is the wall. This is where the wall is supposed to be. There's no problem. But let me tell you, every time we have to build off of the wall, I'm gonna be nervous, especially the right one. And then that's where, okay, yeah, that does that. Okay, cool. And then that's like the top of the wing. It's definitely not the top of Fearow, but I might just fill this in with white, because otherwise it just kind of looks messy. So I think the white will just help it tie together and make it look less crazy to me. There we go. Okay. What else do we got? We have another part of the wing. I'm so bad with bird terminology. But at the very least, I think my point is getting across. And then this is just all brown. And then that goes across. I actually, because I think I looked over, I have to scroll down just a little bit. This part makes me a little nervous because it looks so scrunched together. But then once I actually do it, I realize, oh, everything's fine. 'Cause it's just as simple as that. And then this is all white. Okay, so I think I've done the majority of the tough parts, like the really busy parts, first. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. I can't see like the overlay like you guys can because I have my chat blocking it. But I'm pretty sure that like the head and especially the body are not that busy. I think it's just a lot of filling in to be done. Which I will fill this in just because it's like a short, like it's a small segmented part. Yeah, okay. Okay, so now I can start working up towards, I mean, screw it. Why don't we just kind of stay near the top and keep working from there? So, where? Okay, so this is right here, so I could go off of that. And I will do it to that degree, because there's a lot of brown up here, because that's what most of it is. But, yeah, so that's like that. What is this? Kirby music. Like, it's not Kirby music, but why does it sound so much like Kirby music, is what I'm trying to get at. 3. And then that should be one away from the top, which it is. That's lovely. That is the peak. That is the peak. I don't know why. Man, what song is this? Cause this sounds like Colress's theme, but it's like it came before Colress. So I knew that when I heard Colress's theme, for the first time, it sounded like something else. And I guess I'm probably thinking of this track. I just don't know what it is. Hold on, I really want to see what it is, just cause I'm. Oh, of course, the soundtrack video I'm watching doesn't have timestamps, so I have no idea. I'll find out eventually though when I do my video on Heart Gold and Silver, because I'm gonna have the soundtrack and usually the tracks are named. So it's a good track. It is a good track. So that connects up there, and then this has a little design that goes up like that and then just kind of ends. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, and then diagonal. Okay, now I have to sort of put where all the orange is, but I think I already kind of did that with placing the brown. Well, for the most part. I guess I didn't really do that over here. Because I got that right there. And some brown right there. And then everything else up here is brown. I may as well fill it in because it's just bothering me if I don't. And then... Okay. Now what do we got here? And then this is all orange. Cool. Lovely. And now working over. I'm gonna have to scroll soon, but not quite yet. How many is that? 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also, this is my favorite bike theme right here. It is unmatched for me. I don't know why. It's just so catchy. I mean, I guess it's like, how do you describe, like, why you like music? I like it. That's my review, is that I like it. It's catchy, it's fun. Yeah. Alright, so now we're on the head. And I'm gonna do the top part first. Because that makes the most logical sense in my opinion. Right there, okay. And then this should be 2 from the top? Yeah, 2 from the top. Just making sure. And then we got some white accents. I'm not really sure. I think it's just like shines, like kind of like the way like the light hits the top of Fearow. Okay. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then that's like, yeah, part of the shine. Yeah, we're looking good here. This is lined with white. And that goes up. Got brown here. Brown here. Brown there. Black. And then we have some more black and brown borders. And this part is the eye. I feel like I have to call it out every time, but here's where we are. And then that just lines that. And that lines that. And then the rest of this is all orange. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that looks silly, but it's correct. And then work our way down here. This is going to be the beak. The beak that can learn the almost exclusive Gen 1 move, Drill Peck. I think only shared by Zapdos, maybe Dodrio, but I don't think so. I don't remember Dodrio having it when I used it, but it very well could have. Like that. And then brown. I think that's the lowest that goes. I actually can't see below it, but I can check to confirm. If I go back up here, that's like that. And then I could work on this pattern, which will eventually connect with it. That. Okay. Okay. And then this should be 4, right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And then everything in here is orange. And then we can continue over to here. That's 4. That goes like that. Yeah. These two are just air. I do want to finish this part up here really quick. What am I looking at here? Okay. 2, 3. Should go like that, and that should be, yeah. And then like that. Like that. Should be like that. Yes, that's perfect. Cool. And all that's brown. Okay, now we can start working our way down. Which I'm gonna have to scroll really soon. are good. And now we scroll. I don't think there's a lot for me to connect. Also, there is one little piece of black right there. Okay, but this should be pretty straightforward. I think I'm going to keep working from up here downward just because that's what I'm more used to. 2 brown. And this extends out quite a bit. And then 3. Like that. Yeah, and that should be like that. I'm gonna make sure I have VSync on just so that maybe that's why that's happening. I do not remember where VSync is. Oh wait, it's okay, yeah, VSync right here. Okay. So that should, yeah, it caps me at my monitor's frame rate. Hitting caps lock for some reason. Hopefully now the frame rate, the drops or like the spikes stop happening. I'm gonna be honest though, I don't know why they happen, so. And that connects there. Like that. Some more brown here, yes. Oops. This is all brown. I accidentally started using the wrong color. And then, is that? Where? That sounded like Mario 2. I think everything else is just to be filled in. Yeah, and not only that, but it's all to be filled in with the same color. Actually, wait, I spotted... There we go. There's no more white. Nope, okay, it's all just brown. Cool. Also, I'm pretty sure I just felt the lag spike. So I don't know why it happens. I'm sorry. Hopefully it's not too distracting. I will try to get it sorted out for next time. Thankfully, it seems, at least for me, it's not super invasive. So, yeah. So, I didn't exactly have the best things to say about Fearow while I was working on it. I do feel that, I do like that, getting to work on these Pokemon, it kind of gives me the opportunity to say my thoughts on them. Because I'm, specifically highlighting them for, I don't know, however long it takes to make them. Yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say about Fearow, but it's I am not going to be... Let's just say I would not be the first in line to get an autograph from Mr. Fearow. Such a weird way to word it, but you get my point. I mean, at least it evolves early, so it's you have, if you're playing through Kanto, you have, it wouldn't be too uncommon to have a Fearow, by Misty. That's a compliment I could give it. But I'm pretty sure that by the time you get to the Elite Four, it's going to be a bit underwhelming. And this, wow, it's just it's crazy how much brown there is. But truly, this is kind of, I think, what the Gen 2 sprites are going to feel like. Because they have so much less shading, and that sounds like a knock against them, but actually, I genuinely love it. I think the Gen 2 sprites are some of my favorite sprites in the series just because of the way they're colored. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think any sprites in Gen 1 do that. I think every Gen 1 sprite is it takes like the Pokemon's main color and just gives it like 2 shades of it for the shading, which I think sometimes that could like kind of work in a way. Like I think with Fearow it works, but it's obviously not super accurate to how it actually looks. Which, speaking of like the colors and stuff, I actually, when I was working on Rattata and Raticate, I had noted that I didn't like the color scheme it used and that it should use another one. And I realized the one I suggested was the one used for the Pidgey line and I guess also the Spearow line. And I realized that whether I knew it or not, that's actually pretty much, I think, the exact color scheme that's used for the Raticate line in Gen 2. So I don't know if I knew that already, but either way, I guess it wasn't that bad of a suggestion since they did it way before I even knew. Either way though, that is Fearow. I think it looks pretty good. It's like, it's just so weird to me how, I don't want to say like much empty space there is, because it's like there's still very much detail in there, but it's just like it felt a little jarring filling in so much empty space, I guess. But I'm not gonna complain. And guess what? We're 47 minutes in. I don't want to make any promises, but I will at least say that we can get working on Ekans. And theoretically, Ekans shouldn't take that long. So I would also like to do Arbok as well. So for the Ekans and Arbok line, they're very purple, as you can see. Unfortunately, there's no good, like, clean lavender color. So I kind of just had to do the best I could. So we're gonna do purple concrete for the darker color and magenta concrete powder for the lighter one. So the second appearance of concrete powder. Also, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so I can see a little bit better. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started on Ekans. And I actually have used Ekans before, only once. I used it again in my playthrough of Red for when I did the video on it, and it was, I think, pretty good. I remember it being good. Like obviously it's not like mind-blowing. It's a Gen 1 poison type, but its move pool is surprisingly diverse. And you get it early on. I think that's another plus. And I don't think a lot of Kanto Pokemon have the problem of like availability. Some of them definitely do. But the Ekans line is not one of those. Although I do know that something that can hold it back is I'm pretty sure Ekans is the reason that I played Red version, because it is exclusive to it. At least that's one of the reasons I played Red. I wanted to give technically both versions their kind of like time in the spotlight. So that's why I played Red and then Leaf Green. If it was the other way, I probably would have done Blue and Fire Red. No matter what, a starter would have kind of been left out since it doesn't equate. Okay, yeah, this is up here, and then this should just go all the way over. I'm actually, like, I'm working my way up really fast, but I'm just doing what I see, because, like, this is the head already. At the same time, though, like, there's, like, a decent amount of, like, bordering detail, so don't you worry. We got... Ekans will have a lot of time to shine. I remember as a kid, when I watched the Pokemon anime for the first couple times, and Jessie from Team Rocket had her Arbok, I did not know that both Arbok and Weezing evolved from something. I thought that they were just like them. And at some point I saw like the second episode of the anime, because I had seen the first one, but I had never seen the second one because the only way I could see it was on DVD, and I had like the only DVD I had of Pokemon were like they released like themed DVDs of like specific Pokemon. I don't know what this track is. This is really weird. If you don't know, it's probably unknown themed. But the two Pokemon themed DVDs I had was Pikachu. No, I had three. I had Pikachu, Jigglypuff, and Charizard. And obviously Pikachu included the first episode, but it did not include the second episode. I think the other ones it included were Pikachu's Goodbye, and the one where there's like the psychic surfing Pikachu. I don't remember. I think it's like, oh god, I'm gonna probably mess up the name so bad, but it's like Pikahuna or something like that. Like that was like the name of the episode. I don't know. Hopefully I'm not too far off. But either way, that's why I hadn't seen the second episode for so long, and when I finally did, I'm like, oh my god, like I didn't know they like not only evolved from something, but that they used them. Like that's what they started with. What is going on here? I'm off. Yeah, there's what's going on here? Okay, well this goes all the way up and also over. So then what is up here? You got that. You got that. And then oops. And then that goes to white, but we're focused on this right now. Did I not go over enough with this? Excuse me. Oh, I have to do that again. I'm gonna mute. Okay, we should be good. I also just realized that my chat is not here. Not that it probably matters. But okay, there we go. Yes, okay. So this is 3 away. Goes 2, 3. Oh yeah. I have to clean my glasses. I'm like, I apologize for all these like mild interruptions, but like I kept like the screen was like a little blurry for me, and I'm like, am I like okay? But I realized it's just my glasses. I don't know how that happened. What's going on here? And then there's this here, and then this here, I think. But yeah, I don't know how that happened like during the stream, but whatever. And then that's like that. Okay. So is there an issue here? This should be like that. And then that goes up and that goes over. And then that. What? I gotta lock in for a second. Because what is going on here? Something is not right. Okay. Let's look over here. This should be okay. We'll go up here. This should be 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct. And then it gets like purple, and then 3 black, and then purple. Found the problem. This is supposed to be a 3 block gap. It's a 2 block gap. There we go. Okay, so I will just do that part over then. I'm sorry about my flumminess. I don't know why it's like that, but I hope it's not too much of a burden. Okay, and that goes all the way down. That's like that. That's like that. Okay. And then This should still be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Good. We're all good. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what's going on here? We have another inconsistency. Okay. I will start from down here because I know down here is correct. At least I'm like 90% sure. It's like the backwards L. That's like that. That's like that. That's like that. And then purple above. And then here is where it should like be diagonal. So what the heck is going on? It should be 1, 2, 3. And then a diagonal 2 and then a 1. But the issue is that this is supposed to be right here. So did wires get crossed? What happened here? This is supposed to be lined up. Yeah, okay. Oh boy, there was something misaligned somewhere. And I am not ecstatic about that. That goes up. Did I just find it? I think I found it. Yeah, I found it. And I think that kind of throws everything off. Just a little bit. Because I had this wait. Yeah, okay. I had this repeating. It's not supposed to repeat. Which means all this up here is it's just wrong. Okay. I'm gonna take it on the chin. I'm gonna take it on the chin. Does it suck? Yes, this does suck a lot. But at the same time, a decent amount of my time here was being confused by the alignment of the other thing that was arguably partially due to that mistake. So we're gonna take it. We're just gonna get rid of this and try again. At least it's not a big Pokemon. I didn't fill anything in. Like, it's not Arbok, you know. It's okay. Also, I could have arguably cleared this out faster with commands, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta take a mistake like that on the chin and do it manually. Okay, so that means over here, that goes up. Black, that goes up. Yeah, so I did an extra one of these when I was not supposed to. This is actually black. That's purple, and then black, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'm gonna work around the other way first, just because I know what's more correct. Even though I can't see much of over here, so I'm not gonna be able to do that much actually. Okay. And then 1, 2. Okay. Now here's where I could actually correct this. 1, 2, 3. And then 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, I was not paying attention at the time, and the cat feeder went off, and it kind of scared me, but I muted for it, at least everything except the beginning, because it plays a little pre-recorded voice message of saying it's munched in time, it's crunched in time, which sounds silly, but that's what we did. That goes like that. This looks so jarring when like comparing it to like the actual like kind of lavender color of actual Ekans. And this is very much one where you kind of just have to take like your own creative liberties. But I think it'll come out looking fine. Honestly, we're not like, I mean, I still need a little bit to go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But we're not like too far away from catching up. 1, 2, 3. What's going on here? Please. Please just stop with the madness. Please just stop with the madness. I want it to stop. Is this supposed to go up more? No? I'm gonna start losing my mind. No, this is correct. Something's wrong here, probably. I don't know. Okay, let's look at this, right? That's like that. That's the bottom part. This should be a 3x3 square. Technically a 4x3 square. And then it's lined with an L. Bam. That's perfect. That's perfect. That goes like that. What is going on there? What is going on there? I'm far enough over. I'm starting to lose my mind. Just a little bit. Right? Because then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. What? That's 4. That's supposed to be 4. That goes up. Did I not? There it is. There it is. Okay. I figured out the problem. I messed up again, but thankfully, I spotted it early. I actually am losing my mind though. Like, genuinely, I'm gonna push through it. But wow, I am losing my mind doing this. Okay. But not, like, I'm fine. I'm fine, we're all fine. That's 7. That should look exactly like that. It's perfect. It's perfect. Lovely. I love to see that. That goes down there. That also goes up there. I just cannot believe, like, on the low key, Ekans should have been done by now. On the low key. Just the low key. And it's completely my fault that it's not. But that's okay, because you know what? At the very least, there is something to be gotten from this, and that is hopefully entertainment. Also, since it's playing right now and it's relevant, Ho-Oh's theme is way better than Lugia's. And I will not be elaborating on that. Ho-Oh's is way better. Also, Ho-Oh is better in general. Although that was something that I had to think about for a while. Not just now, but something that I've thought about before. How many is that? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 2 up there. And then that lines that. Okay. What goes on over here? Black, purple, some light purple. Okay. Perfect. That's good. I can't see any higher than that, but we're looking good. there. That goes all the way down like that. That lines that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a little Y shape because that goes up to the tail. I can't really see it too well, but I could see that. I could see that. And I could see that. Okay. Am I just like in like a laggy chunk or something? Because why is it getting more frequent? What are we looking at here? Okay, so that should be 3. I don't have to worry about that. It's just an odd shape. Yeah. And then that's like that. And then that's like that. Cool. And then we have black going down till there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then all that goes like that. Cool. And I can't see beyond that right now, but I will fill that in. And let's zoom out a little bit. I guess I will set it up so that I can do the rest of the tail. Accidentally. Okay, yeah. So it goes like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is all purple. 1, 2. Purple. And then now it actually comes in. And okay. And then there's gonna be more white. And then I see that there's 2 more right there. I actually can't see beyond that right now, but that's okay. Some black, some purple, more black. And I can look above that. Okay. We're still looking good. We're actually almost at the tip of the tail, which the top of the tail aligns with the top of the head. And then 2 of that there. And then there's no more of that on the tail. Okay, that's the tail. Lovely. And then this is the magenta. That's air. I'll just fill this in. Okay. That's all magenta. There's some white here, but I'm actually, right now, I'm going to start on the head since I could see some of it, so I may as well do what I can see. And this should be like, yeah, this should be right near here. This is part of the eye. Obligatory mention. Pupil. Oops, that's the wrong color. Got purple in there. Purple right there. Purple at the end of this. I see that there's black there. I can't see it too well. There's also a nose right there. I could also probably get this little thing going, which actually it's basically done. Wait. Okay, I see what's going on here. Yeah, I'm just gonna fill in what I know. And then that's like that. That's like that. Okay, so I said it was almost done. It actually was not. That's all good. That's 4. That's a purple. Cool. Okay. And then that's just all magenta. And this can continue to go up. This is the peak, which lines up with the other peak. Lovely. And I see a little white here, but I don't know how much it continues until I scroll over right now immediately. And it does that. And black there. 2 black there. That's just all magenta. Okay. That's like that, because that's like the nose. And then I just basically have... yeah. We have that for part of the body, and everything else is magenta. Lovely. Okay. Can I just say, so we're almost done with Ekans here. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I'm going to continue. It might be a bit surprising, but at the same time, I think it's more so than anything me wanting to maintain evolution consistency. I've never stopped during in the middle of an evolution before. I don't really want to start now. I'm just gonna also make sure that these are the right colors. Okay, yeah. So that's part of it. Also, like, we will eventually be getting back to the 3 stages, and I want to, like, do that. Okay, I want to lay it out simply, because I think I could do that. This time is the Fearow line and the Arbok line, and the next time, ideally, is the Pikachu line and the Sandshrew line. And then after that, we're back to 3 stages with both sets of Nidorans. And yeah, so with that, like, we'll be back to 3. I don't know about after that. I haven't looked far beyond that, and I don't know the Pokedex by heart, but basically that's the plan. So if you like longer streams, this has the potential to be the longest one yet, because we have just finished Ekans, and honestly, like I said, creative liberties, it looks a little more pinkish than it should, which honestly makes it look a little more Gen 2-ish, but I still think it looks solid. I think it looks cool. So now we're going to do Arbok. So let's get that set up. There's Arbok. Let me get it set up on my end. Okay. So Arbok, I have it starting like, I'm just gonna get right into it, but Arbok, I have it like starting like the leftmost part. So like it's kind of weird. Also, it's starting with like arguably the busiest part being the tail. But it's actually gonna get to a point where like things are a lot simpler. So yeah. Also, I think this is still technically the Heart Gold and Soul Silver soundtrack. I think this is like for the Arceus event. So yeah. I don't know how long this soundtrack is, but I think it'll just replay once it finishes. Yeah, okay. And then that's... okay, there's some detailing to be done because there's some white pieces. And then that right below that. And then that right there. Cool. That's not it for the white, but it's all of the white that I can do right now. 5. We have like a reverse pyramid here. Okay. And then that just connects with that. Okay. And then the white. Okay, so that's all the white. And I may as well also just fill in these small parts of magenta. Okay, well this part is not even done. So we got that. And then 1, 2. And then there's one purple right here. Lovely. Like I said, it's also going to be a pretty pink Arbok, but creative liberties aside, I think it'll look pretty good. But obviously there's the obligatory Mojang, please add more colored blocks into the game. Give me light purple, give me like a maroon red, give me like a seafoam color. Give me like a true like light blue, like the old light blue used to be, and not like a pseudo kind of like cyan. There's probably other ones. Give us another pink. I want another pink. There's probably other ones too. Maybe a more reddish orange. I don't know. Maybe a tan color. Actually, a tan color would be pretty nice. Yeah. Also, I just realized I can't see my chat again. Yeah. Now I can. We're good. Okay. So we're like done with like the bulk of the tail. I mean, it's like it's starting to connect to the main part of the body. I may as well fill this part in because I've basically already did it. How many up is this? That's too many up to where I can't actually tell. But I'll just have it go up a little bit. And that goes over. 2 of you, 2 of you, and then 2 of you. And then I could see like one more block. That goes up 5. And that goes up like that. And then 2, 3, 4, 5. And actually, this is the extent of what the black goes up to. So I'm glad I did that. Because now I could tell. And I can actually continue off of that. And we got that. Okay. Another one of these. And then another one of these. Just to make sure it is 3. So I'm not getting it twisted. And after that, I can't see. But starting from... Where is it? Right here? Yeah, starting from right here, it should be like this. And then it should go like that. And then there's like a bunch of black in here. I'm going to kind of wait to do that. Because it's like... Arbok uses a lot of black detailing. And it can get very easily get lost in that. This kind of goes like an M. It also goes up a little bit right here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. That should look like that, and that's perfect. That goes down 2, and I can't see beyond that. That goes right there. I can't see beyond that. 2, 2 there. Black and purple, black and purple in the middle. And now I have to scroll over. I'm going to say on the bottom part over here because Arbok is actually a lot more top heavy. I can't see how many that is, so I will work over here and work my way up. 2. Black and purple. Okay. Okay, and then this goes all the way over. Purple. White here, and then the rest of that is just all magenta. Got a little bit of white right here. Like that. I'll fill that in because it's a single block. You got that. Got that. Okay. 3 up there. 3 there, and it kind of goes down a little bit and does that. That does that. That goes up 3 more. It's gonna kind of be hard, like kind of notifying when we're working on the head because Arbok's kind of got like most of its body, or like most of it is head. So yeah. That in, yeah, it's like a weird M. And then that's just all magenta. And then going down here, we have a T. And then some white detailing. It goes like that, and that's... Is that just 4 in a row? Yep, okay, that's 4 in a row. It looked incorrect, but then I looked at it and I realized it was correct. We have black, purple, surrounding 2 black, okay, this is surrounding 1 black, and that goes down 1, because it's actually surrounding another one, and then it does kind of something similar. I was really scared there for a moment, and that goes like that. Lovely. And then it's like that, which is about 5, yeah. And that's 4. And that's like that. And then the rest of that is all magenta. I could work on how this goes up from here, not too much. That gets surrounded. 2 up. Geez, I need to kind of stabilize myself as to where I am. Those 2. Okay. And then kind of the same thing again. And then purple, and then black. And this should line up, I think, with the black down here. Yeah, I believe that's correct. It's like, it's kind of a stretch to look, but it looks right. And this is kind of hard to gauge, but right here, it goes up to purple, and then the black, and then this goes all the way over. And that's the longest part of that. And then that is like that. Then another 2, and it's that again. 3 black there. Goes up 1 there. Okay. And then over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Rest of that should be black. And then this is purple. Yes, okay. This part's not completely done because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black. And then this is 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. And that's filled in. And then, okay, so that's like that pattern. And then there's also another pattern that starts over here that I don't know how big it is, but it at least starts like that. And then there's a single piece of magenta. 3, 4, 5. 5. That's the extent of what I could see over there. And then over here, oops. Okay. 4. Then I can't really see any further, but I do know that it has a similar emerging pattern. And now we can work our way up. I'm going to do the left side first. Okay, so that's like that. That's like that, and then that's 5 each. And then like that. Down here. And then I'll work over here and connect it, because it's easier that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like that. That's like that. Got one of those there. Little L connects. Perfect. Yeah, but I've never really tried using Arbok in a more modern game. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't gotten like a regional form or something like that, considering that its Team Rocket counterparts, Weezing and especially Meowth, have very much gotten the regional form treatment. And I think it'd be cool because actually, I don't know if I like Arbok or Weezing more. I like them both. But yeah, it'd be nice to see Arbok get some love. Maybe in Gen 10. They can get like some sort of, even just like a convergent form, since it seems like that's like what they want to do now. We're actually almost at the top here. This is the top right here, which this should line up perfectly with the pattern right here, which it does. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, right here, we will continue the upper pattern. Got 2 right there. And then 1, 1. Where's this? We have like this little thing right here, and it kind of goes like that. Okay. And then up 2. Up another 2. And that goes like that as well. 2. And this kind of outlines where the purple is. And this goes diagonal until right here. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, and then it just goes 1 until it connects in there. Thank you very much, Lunadium. It's very nice to get a chatter, even if you can't watch, but I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for the kind words, and I hope that whatever you're doing, you have a good time. Okay. And I don't know why I filled that in, but it just felt right at the time. where do we got from here? Actually, let's do one of the eyes. It's pretty simple. It actually looks quite like an eye. And something that I love is that its eyes are like basically symmetrical. Like its eyes look the same as each other. They are like slightly off center, but I actually think that adds to it because it shows that it looks like it's looking at something. Probably at like the player. So actually I think that's a really like nice bit of detail. Okay, yeah, I haven't like fully like done this design, so I was like a little worried that like I messed up, but we're good. Also, I'm not sure you're still here, but Lunadium, I hope I caught your chat as soon as it popped up. It felt like I did, but I want to make sure that I did. So yeah, and thank you again. And then that's filled with that. Then we got black there. Okay. That goes up like that. And then 2. And then 1, 1. And I can't see past that, but that's okay. Also, my voice just did something so weird when I said that, and I apologize, because that must have sounded horrible. But, should be good now. This is all black. And how can I gauge where this is? I think like right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Purple, this is the eye. Should I say the other eye? And it's done. And I just realized dude kind of has like a brow going on. And starts there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's symmetrical, which is so lovely. Oops, I messed that up. But also, I realized, I think I mentioned earlier, maybe I didn't, I don't know, maybe I only said it in my head. I was surprised that this soundtrack hasn't ended yet, and then I realized that I clicked on an entire soundtrack of it. So that's probably why it hasn't ended, and I think that was probably for the better. We can fill in some of the gaps right here. And then let's continue on with the border up here. And I officially cannot see anymore. What's going on here? Okay, I see what's going on here. Oops. And then, okay, so the brow is all good. I filled in any purple that there is. Yeah, okay. That just confused me, but I'll just do that and it should make it less confusing. Okay, and then we got the right side over here. Where am I? We got this right here. Okay, that should be like that. I'm actually probably gonna work from the bottom up, just because. Oh geez, the bottom is like all the way over here. Just because I'm more confident in this part of it. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, black and purple, and then 3 black, and purple on top, black, purple, black, and it connects perfectly. This is 3, this is 2, and then we got some patterns to do. On this one, we have, it just goes up diagonal until it lines up with the white. And it goes 2, and that's 2, that's purple. And it should just be symmetrical with the other side. Not like I remember the exact placements, but 2, 3, and then yeah, that should be like that, right? That looks right to me. And then we have this pattern in the middle here, which I'm gonna try to do without doing the outline. See if I can do it. That's like that. That's like that. That just connects around. Okay, cool. And now I can do the outline. What's the Clefairy song? I like this song. Does that go like that, or is that one down? Oh, okay, that goes like that. And that's just purple. Honestly, though, I kind of like the Gen 2 version better. That's just me. 3 here. 4 here. That block placement was like kind of on beat. I say that as a tone deaf person, but it sounded like it was on beat. So I'm kind of proud of myself for that. Wow, that looks so cursed right now. But it's about to look a lot better because it's time to fill in. So this part, like in the middle here, is all regular purple, and then up towards the head and also on the main parts of the tail, I haven't done that yet either, is like magenta. What is this? This is purple right here. Everything here is magenta. I don't know how I switched there. I'm pretty sure I did not hit the scroll wheel, but maybe I did ever so slightly. I don't know. Okay, and then this should be magenta from here. And this goes all the way up. And then this is around the eye. It definitely looks weird up close, but it'll look, much like the wheel line, it'll look better when we back up. It will always be weird hearing a placing noise that's not the typical, like, stone sounding concrete one. Hopefully nobody ever pours water on this, because that'd be pretty inconvenient. I thought at some point, like early on, I did think about if I just should commit to only using concrete, or like concrete plus terracotta. Like, what limitations should I put on myself? And I think, like, as long as a block isn't noisy enough, which I know, like, concrete powder, like, comparatively is like a bit noisy compared to the other ones. It's still like one of, like, you know, the main color ones, I guess. Okay, also, is this just... Okay, yeah, this is all the light colors. There's that dastardly, lag spike again, which surprisingly only started doing that when I got down here. I don't know why it's doing that, but... Oh, dude, there it is again. Hopefully you like the sound of placing sand. We're almost done here, but I can understand that it's a lot. Oh my god, we are done. And honestly, I think that Arbok looks pretty damn cool. Not only that, but I think the Arbok line and the Fearow line both look pretty cool. I feel very accomplished right now. For two reasons. One, 2 evolution lines in one stream. Never been done before. Will hopefully be done again, hopefully next time too. Secondly, I think, I could be wrong, but I think this is now the longest stream I've done. I know, like, just shy of 2 hours isn't that impressive when you compare it to, like, others, but everyone's different. And when doing something, when focusing on building and trying to talk at the same time, it could be, especially when you're not super experienced with it, it could be difficult. And lastly, the part that I'm maybe the most happy about is that I can now comfortably say, because I'm not going back down there, is that I went the entire stream without breaking a stained glass block. I started thinking about that while I was working on Fearow, and I kept it in the back of my mind. And when I realized that all there was left to do with Arbok was fill it in, I realized if I'm careful enough, I could pull this off. It's such a stupid little accomplishment, but I'm glad that I finally did it. And it didn't take too long comparatively. Because we're 3 rows in now. We are 24 Pokemon down. Still quite a lot to go, but I believe I'm just shy of being 1/6 of the way done. I don't know the percentage on that, but that's where we're at, and I'm pretty happy about that. So next time I should be able to stream next week. I'm not sure yet, but I will make a post. Next time we will hopefully do the iconic Pikachu evolution line as well as the Sandshrew line. Hopefully, I'm not committing to it, but if it goes like this, even though we had the misstep with Ekans, I still feel like this went well. Yeah. So with that, I hope that if you watched, you enjoyed, and that you might want to tune in next time to see more Pokemon being built in Minecraft. With all that said, thanks again, and I hope to see you again soon.